Kaiser, I think we are talking about managers and leaders today. I find it such a mystery, the difference between the two.
They say recent studies have shown that both genders reply differently to certain questions. For example, if you ask a woman, why do women make better leaders than men, they usually reply, because women have better leadership. But if you ask a man the same question,
I know a better one. To make a long story short, there's nothing like having a boss walk in.
Good morning, learners.
Good morning, miss.
ma'am.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to the third radio learning program in our 5-part series called Let's Learn About Business. The series is meant especially for grade 12 business studies learners getting ready to write their final exam. We, however, hope that others who have an interest in business study will also find it interesting. Today, in Lesson 3, our discussion is around the management of the business organization with a focus on leadership and management. At the end of this program, our learners should be able to, number 1, discuss the nature of management and the need for effective management. Number 2, discuss misbehaved roles of management. And number 3, learners should be able to assess 3 common leadership styles, which is autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire, and their effectiveness. Please have a pen and notebook ready so that you can make notes of important points you want to remember. And don't forget, we have a question at the end of the lesson that will help you to prepare for your exam. Grade 12 class, tell me, what exactly does the management of your school do? Do you know?
Our school management just manages the school, but I can't say what exactly they do though.
Okay, we will discuss the management activity they carry out, which will show that the management is busy managing the school.
I think the management makes a lot of decisions about the school, and I know they always have to plan, like for enough textbooks and teachers for the next year and so on. They have to organize sports events, cultural functions and examinations, and control all the activities of the school.
I'm surprised, Kaiser. I was expecting you to talk about leadership first. That's your big issue?
Yes, Lucy, it is, but I'm not sure what the leadership fits into the management of the school. Though I know a school definitely needs good leaders, and in fact all the teachers are leaders of the class, surely.
Thank you, learners, and Geza, of course. You were quite correct. The activity of management includes everything you mentioned: decision making, planning, organization, leadership, and control. Management can be defined as: management is a process of decision making through planning, organization, leading and control of organizational, human, financial, physical, and information resources.
You see, leading is part of a management element.
Yes, I can see that you are really interested in the concept of leadership, Geza. Leadership uses the skill of motivating a group of people to act toward achieving a common goal in a business setting. This requires guiding, directing workers, and giving them a strategy to meet the business goal effectively and efficiently.
Thank you, Ms. Oberts. I've written it all down.
Next, we have to briefly discuss misbehaved role of management. You have to know what those are for the exams. Ms. Bex is an outstanding management expert. He is an author and academic. He identified 10 main tasks of responsibility of a manager into 3 categories. The 3 categories, or we call it function of management, which are interpersonal, information, and decisional. Each of those 3 management functions has their role in management process.
Will Ms. Oberts tell us more about each?
Yes, as I said, in terms of misbehaved roles of management, there are 10 management roles under 3 categories. Please do remember them. Let's start with interpersonal. Interpersonal roles are that managers play relate to the skills of people management and relationship. Personality is the most important aspect of this category. The interpersonal roles are those of figurehead, leader, and a liaison. The figurehead will always be not much more than a person that was nominated into the position. The leader is a variable person in any organization. He or she leads by being a front runner or a ground breaker. Then some managers lead by liaison. They always try to get people to cooperate, and good relationship among the group are very important to those managers. The second function of management is informational. This relates to how information is managed in an organization. To ensure that all relevant stakeholders get the necessary information, control of information is important for this category. The roles that automatically come out for information management in an organization includes the 3: the monitor, the disseminator, and the spokesperson. I think you can easily identify those roles in any organization you are familiar with. The monitor. The monitor always wants to screen information that should be available to people, how much they should know, and what they are allowed to know. Then we have a disseminator. This is an opposite of the monitor. This person wants everybody to know everything that is going on in the organization. You can hardly stop this person from giving information. And then you have a spokesperson. This person would often wait until everybody has aired their views, their grievances, and made their points, and then will speak as a representative voice on behalf of the group. The decision-making function of management requires being able to understand and sell the big picture of the organization to the team. The decision makers create long-term strategies for the organization. Based on the relevant information, those managers should have their vision and tactics. The 4 roles under decision making are: first, the entrepreneur, the disturbance handler, the resource allocator, and the negotiator. It's quite clear what these roles entail in a workplace, isn't it? The entrepreneur constantly brings ideas about how the organization can make money, like the marketing manager. The disturbance handler is called in to get a crowd to calm down, like the public relation managers. The resource allocator is known as that person who can work effectively with money and resources to ensure the company finances are in order. That is the financial manager for you. And the negotiator. This person could be the line manager or the labor unionist. Both of them want their people to work together in a win-win effort.
It's nice when you make it practical like that, Ms. Obert. I can really visualize the different roles in the workplace.
Yes, learning should be like that. It should make sense. Well, next we are going to discuss the 3 common leadership styles, which are autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire. You should be able to identify each style and how effective it is in a management of an organization. Let's start with autocratic leader. Autocratic leader makes all decisions without accepting input from anyone. This manager does not consult employees, and their opinions are not considered.
I definitely do not like the autocratic leader.
Let's look at the democratic leaders. Democratic leaders make decisions in consultation with team members. He or she seeks the ideas and opinion of work team members before making decisions. The third type of management style is a French term, laissez-faire. You understand this style when you hear that this term, laissez-faire, literally means to let them do. Managers with this style of leadership give all the authorities to the team members to carry out their function and their task without interference from the management.
Imagine, that cannot be good.
To draw you to a picture of each of their style, just imagine the decision-making function as a circle in the middle of the staff complement of an organization. The autocratic leader is alone in that decision-making circle. And the democratic leader is together with a team member in the circle. And the laissez-faire manager is nowhere to be found in the decision-making circle of his company. There are only team members in this circle of decision-making.
Sure. Yes, that's a good picture, the circle.
Oops, our time is up. Well, I sense that you can already see the different leadership concept you need, as leadership style have advantages and disadvantages. Your homework is to summarize those, the advantages and the disadvantage of different leadership style as they appear in your note or in your textbook. Meanwhile, let's sum up what we have discussed today. We touched on the difference between leadership and management, which is very important to Geyser.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
And we said that there are 10 roles of management according to management expert Misberg. Misberg divides the management function into 3 categories and say the decisional category has the following roles: entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, and the negotiator. While interpersonal roles are figurehead, real leader, and liaison role. The information function also has 3 roles. There is the information monitor, disseminator, and the spokesperson. And we learned 3 leadership styles that are used in different situations in decision making, which is the autocratic, democratic, and laissez-faire leadership style. That's a wrap, girls and boys.
Thank you, Ms. Obert.
Thank you, ma'am.
Listeners and learners, this also concludes our lesson for today, which is lesson 3 of 5 on the management style of business organization. But before we go, don't forget our question. Here it comes. Let's first listen to the case studies. Remember, it's very much important so that you can able to apply your answers to the case studies. Here goes the case studies. JJ Classics offer tutoring services in commerce subjects to part-time learners in Cess Village. Now, the owner JJ is seeking advice on effective way of managing her tutorial services. Now, here is the question. Discuss any 2 roles of management that JJ Classic may use for distributing information that would make a business study tutoring service more successful. This is a 6 marks question and is allocated as follows. You must use the assessment objectives of 2 points will be allocated for your knowledge, 2 points for your application, and 2 points for analysis. Remember to give the impact in this case. The instruction again, case study. JJ Classic offer tutoring service in commercial subject to part-time learners in the Cess Village. Now, the owner JJ is seeking advice on an effective way of managing her tutorial service. Discuss any 2 roles of management that JJ Classic may use for distributing information that would make her business study tutoring services more successful. Enjoy the assignment. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll speak again next time. Bye-bye.
This lesson is produced by NAMCOL with funding from the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture.